The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a region in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, home to the largest accumulation of plastic and other waste in the world. This garbage mass contains millions of tons of debris, trapped in a massive gyre created by ocean currents. Items like plastic bags, bottles, fishing nets, and microplastic particles have concentrated in this area, forming what almost looks like an island. Its area is approximately 1.6 million square kilometers. This covers an area twice the size of Turkey. However, its exact size is not constant because ocean currents and winds continuously change the shape and boundaries of the garbage patch. Over 80% of the debris comes from land-based sources, particularly plastic waste dumped into the ocean from rivers, coastal areas, and ships. The remaining 20% consists of marine sources such as discarded fishing gear and waste from ships. In 2017, a very interesting event occurred. Two young environmentalists took an incredible step to draw attention to this major environmental issue caused by garbage patches worldwide, going far beyond traditional social responsibility projects. With a project they named Garbage Islands, they applied to the United Nations to grant official country status to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch floating in the Pacific Ocean. Two young environmentalists came up with quite an unconventional idea to draw attention to this garbage patch, the idea of establishing an official country called Garbage Islands. They wanted to promote this garbage patch as a country. They knew that if recognized as a country, international law would require other nations to assist in cleaning up this country. To further advance their project, they designed a flag, currency, and even a passport for garbage islands. Celebrities and activists from all over the world also joined the citizenship of garbage islands. They knew that if recognized as a country, international law would require other nations to assist in cleaning up this country. To further advance their project, they designed a flag, currency, and even a passport for garbage islands. Celebrities and activists from all over the world also joined the citizenship of garbage islands. Their application to the United Nations called People to Take Action. Although the garbage islands were not recognized as a country, a significant awareness was raised globally for environmental cleanup. Thanks to this creative social responsibility project, people paid more attention to combating plastic pollution. What do you think about the idea of two young environmentalists declaring a garbage pile as a country? Do you think this is a creative solution? Why? To draw attention to a problem. Using such an unusual method, what could be the advantages and disadvantages? This event demonstrated how even a small social responsibility movement could astonish the world and initiate significant change. The imagination of two young individuals brought the massive garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean to the world's attention and made a significant difference in environmental awareness. Social responsibility means that individuals are sensitive to the community and environment they live in, and voluntarily engage in good deeds to help others. In other words, it means treating the people, animals, and nature around us well, and making efforts for their well-being. Social responsibility requires us to consider not only our own interests, but also the general well-being of society. This encompasses a wide range of activities, from helping those in need to participating in volunteer work in education and health sectors. What does the concept of social responsibility mean to you? The conservation of natural resources, prevention of environmental pollution, and the adoption of sustainable lifestyles are important aspects of social responsibility. Individuals and organizations should strive to minimize their impact on the environment. Social responsibility is a concept shaped by the common values and ethical principles of humanity, evolving throughout historical processes. Elements such as social solidarity, ethical behaviors, and environmental sensitivity form the foundation of social responsibility. Today, social responsibility is embraced across a wide spectrum, from individuals to institutions, and it holds critical importance for a sustainable future. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals, set by the United Nations in 2015, aim to find solutions to global issues such as poverty, inequality, climate change, and environmental pollution. These goals create a universal framework for social responsibility. With the advancement of technology and communication, individuals' and society's awareness of social issues has increased. Social media and digital platforms contribute to the spread of social responsibility projects. One of the most impactful examples of social responsibility campaigns conducted through social media is the fundraising campaigns for babies with spinal muscular atrophy, SMA. SMA is a genetic muscle disease that requires the very costly Zolgensma treatment. The cost of this drug is around $2 million, and it is impossible for most families to cover this expense on their own. Families began to actively use social media to raise the necessary funds for their children's treatment. They created accounts on platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, sharing their babies' stories and calling for help. Hashtags such as #RedreStopSMA and #RedreSaveALife were used to reach a wider audience with their campaigns. Artists, athletes, and influencers supported these campaigns, encouraging their followers to donate. What do you think about the impact of social media on social responsibility projects? Would you consider joining or starting a social responsibility project through social media? On what topic and how? Social responsibility involves acting in accordance with ethical values such as honesty, justice, and respect. This means being fair to others, avoiding discrimination, and standing up against injustices. The Bread on the Shelf initiative is another interesting example. It is a tradition in Turkey that has lasted for centuries and is one of the most beautiful examples of social responsibility. This tradition, which has continued since the Ottoman era, encourages cooperation and solidarity within society. People who buy bread from bakeries purchase extra loaves to support those in need, and leave these loaves on the shelf. A customer who comes to the bakery pays for one or more loaves in addition to their own needs, but does not take these loaves. The bread that is paid for but not taken is recorded at the bakery as bread on the shelf. Someone in need of bread but unable to afford it can come to the bakery and ask, "Is there bread on the shelf?" If there is, they take the bread without paying any fee. The people giving and receiving help do not know each other, so the person receiving help does not feel embarrassed, and the person offering help does not do so for show. This tradition allows people from all walks of life to support each other and strengthens social bonds. How are social responsibility projects implemented? One of these is volunteer activities. By participating in social responsibility projects, such as environmental cleanup events, tree planting campaigns, or supporting charity organizations, you can contribute to society. What are the individual and societal benefits of participating in volunteer activities? Knowledge and awareness are also important. It is essential to gain information about social and environmental issues and raise awareness on these topics. Sharing knowledge and educating others is an effective method. People who buy bread from bakeries purchase extra loaves to support those in need and leave these loaves on the shelf. A customer who comes to the bakery pays for one or more loaves in addition to their own needs, but does not take these loaves. The bread that is paid for but not taken is recorded at the bakery as bread on the shelf. In which areas would you like social responsibility projects to focus in the future? Why? The historical development of social responsibility may vary between cultures and societies. However, at its core, it is based on the responsibility and respect that people feel towards the world they live in and towards each other. Acting with this awareness will help us build a fairer, more equal, and sustainable world.